friends. Let's see, we're just going to see if we're actually going live or not. There we are, and you can actually see me. So that's great. And I have my little monitoring screen here on the side, so that's good. And then from there, we can actually start the live stream. Hi. How's the sound working? Hi. Yeah, okay, that's great. Hi, my name is Toby, for those of you who are new to my channel or what I do. I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. And to that, I mind my sleep, 7 to 9 hours a night. I mind my nutrition. I try to eat healthy and well over the course of the day, over the course of the week, over the course of the month. I focus on strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training. And I stream about my life and about what I'm doing because I think it's nice to talk about and to share with people. And as well, I've learned a lot from people online who share their experience and who talk about what they're doing. And I hope that people online might be interested in sharing and learning with and from me. So here we are. I usually live stream every morning, so around, what is it, around 5 a.m. And I'm based in Amsterdam, by the way, so around 5 a.m. If that is a time that you're up and willing to get up and do a workout or a morning routine, that's the time that I get up. And in order to do that, I go to sleep well on time. But I also sometimes stream at the end of the day to talk about some of the other parts of my life, because the workout is only 30 minutes out of a 24-hour day. So what do I do the other 23 and a half hour? And specifically, since I have a job that has me sitting most of the day, just like I am sitting now actually as I'm talking to you, there are some things that we can talk about related to health and fitness that might be interesting to just review and discuss as we're going through the motions of the day, but we do want to get fitter or stay healthy over the course of the day. So some of the things that, I talk about is, what's the goal? And we can talk about a little bit about that today, but we can also talk about some of the questions you might have. We can also talk about what the afternoon dip is and why that happens, because I know if you're working in an office, sometimes you get that, have that experience. How we can eat smarter or add more movement to the day as we're in the office, and how to manage our maybe caffeine intake not to disrupt our sleeping pattern. So there are a couple of things that overall or generally relate to health and fitness when being in the office, and that's something that I will talk about. So if you're interested in that, just go ahead and hit that like button and talk to me in the chat so that I know that you're here and what is on your mind. If you want to go ahead and say hi on the chat and ask me anything about my journey or my health and fitness journey, then go ahead. Today I think is day 313 that I have had a morning routine and have had a steady morning routine actually consecutively, and you can watch all of that history on my channel if you're interested in what I've done, what I talk about, and what I actually do, because I think it's more than just talking. It's actually also about understanding what it is that I'm doing that will help us out. So anyway, let's talk about the big goal, right? So why do I say that I want to live an active, adventurous, and self-sufficient life, not only now, but also well into the future? Well, the point is that I have a job where I sit most of the day, and there's this thing called sarcopenia, if you haven't heard about it. And sarcopenia basically is the disease that, hey, Tryouts are over. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you dropping by in the chat and saying hi, tryouts are over. And thanks for letting me know in the chat. Actually made my, making my afternoon, making it worthwhile to be here right now. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you calling that out in the chat. I hope you're doing well where you are in the world today. So when I talk about this, right, when I look at my life and what I want to accomplish, hi, it's a name. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. From the UK, I'm in Amsterdam, so we're about an hour apart, I guess, in terms of time zones here. It's 4:38 in the afternoon where I'm at, and I'm wrapping up the working day. And I found a little bit of time at the end of the day to fit in this stream before I hit on my commute home, because all the work for the day was actually done quicker than I expected, which I'm very happy about. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I hope you're doing well where you are in the world. This thing called sarcopenia, where when we sit too much, our body becomes weaker over time. And there are a couple of things that we can do to offset that, right? So for me, during the day, I have some activities that I engage in, but you also know, if you look at my channel, that in the mornings I do a 30-minute to 60-minute morning routine focused on strength training, conditioning training, or mobility training to make sure that my body keeps moving well, but also to repair some of the damage that sitting a lot in an office job actually does. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because every day there's a live stream and I post shorts about workouts and things that I do to actually maintain my overall physical capability. But when it comes to sarcopenia, it's kind of like something that we don't realize because it's very gradual. But when we hit a certain age, and I'm always very honest, I'm 40 years old. When we hit a certain age, we start to notice that we lose a little bit of mobility. Building stamina becomes harder. It's not as easy to pack on muscle or increase the weight we can pull in the gym as it used to be. And then it's a bit harder to keep up maybe with kids or with physical activities. And that all has to do with the fact that as we get a bit older, we also tend to lose some of our physical ability if we're not mindful of how we sleep, how we eat, and how we exercise throughout the day and throughout the week. So besides the 30 minutes during the day, what are some of the first 30 minutes first thing in the morning where I have my morning routine? What are some of the other things that I tend to do to kind of combat this issue of trying to stay fit and healthy despite having a job where I'm sitting most of the day? Well, one of the things that I have started to do, a habit that I've started to build actually, is to take the stairs when I'm in the office. So we work relatively high up. You might be able to see it in the window behind me. Is that, or maybe not, here, point that way for a little bit. You can see the road there and the train station. And we work relatively high up. And that means that usually you end up taking the elevator not only up to the floor where we work, but also up to between floors when we have meetings in different meeting rooms in the building. But it actually usually is faster to take the stairs, especially 1 or 2 floors up or down, but it also doesn't hurt to take maybe 5 or 6 flights of stairs, maybe 3 or 4 times a day, because that is a minor movement intervention that lasts maybe 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, gets my heart rate up. And walking stairs, by the way, if we're able and capable to do that, is both strength and conditioning workout, albeit short. And those short intervals of 1 or 2 minutes of actually walking up or down a flight of stairs or different flights of stairs actually is enough, if we do it every 30 minutes to the hour, to offset a lot of the negative influences a lot of sitting has on our general health and physical ability. So there you have that insight, and that is the goal, is to take those little mini breaks and those little mini walks while I'm at the office. But how do we then fit that into the structure of a day, right? It starts with triggering the habit of actually taking the stairs instead of the elevator, but it also goes back to doing it when I don't really feel like doing it. Maybe the first thing when I get into the office, to prime myself that there is actually the option of taking the stairs. And also, maybe turning it into a little competition or challenge with colleagues. So whether we're taking the stairs or the elevator, or trying to get to the floor faster by the stairs than when they take the elevator. So that's one kind of intervention that I tend to take as I'm trying to be mindful of my health and fitness while I sit in the office throughout the day. Another thing that I try to do is, well, actually two more things that I try to do to be mindful of. First of all, the office environment, especially the one I'm in, is very prone to snacking and eating. And it's very easy when we're sitting all day and working and thinking a lot, or being in meetings. Maybe we get a bit bored, maybe we get a bit stressed, maybe we're bored and stressed. Maybe there is an occasion that there is some sort of snack or something out there. Is to be mindful of what I eat throughout the day, rather than falling prey to all kinds of snacks or things that I might want to or be offered because of the environment I'm in. And it's important to think about that as well, right? So it's not just about all of the sitting, but it's also about the sitting and then the eating. And there's a couple of things I try to keep in mind to help me manage, what I eat throughout a day while I'm sitting at my desk. First of all is my hydration, water intake. And I think we sometimes forget that we might not be hungry, we might just be thirsty. So having that glass of water instead of a snack, especially early in the morning or the first few hours of the day, has really helped me keep better track of, better control of how much I snack or what I eat at the office. In fact, right now, if you watch my streams, I am engaged in a battle with myself and the snack jar on the office floor, where I had developed the bad habit of actually going to that snack jar, not once, but multiple times in a day, and just having not one, but multiple snacks multiple times in a day. And these are usually very high sugar, low nutrition, low value snacks, which I'm only eating because I'm a bit stressed and a bit bored, maybe even a bit hangry or hungry throughout the day. And it's important to keep in mind that that kind of eating, maybe once a week is fine to kind of have those kinds of snacks. But overall, when I'm in the office, I would actually just like to have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then have a different kind of, healthier snack throughout the day, and not have those mindless eating moments. Because once you start on the sugary snacks, or at least for me, I tend to eat more and more and more of them throughout the day. And today is the first day in a long time where I beat the snack jar. I didn't go to it once. And here was my strategy. Every time I would walk into the kitchenette where the snacks are on display, instead of going to the snack jars or having any kind of snack there, the only thing I would do was fill up a glass of water, drink the glass of water, put it away, and go back out. And that strategy today seemed to work really well, because the intervention of stopping myself and actually having that glass of water to drink rather than leaning into the snack jar, sticking my hand to the snack jar and having one of those snacks, actually really helped me put a little bit of space between the emotion of wanting a snack and actually having the snack, which put me in more control. So it's very simple, but it has really helped me, and for the first time in a long time, actually skip the snacks. And for everyone who just started watching, hi, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old, and I am training to live a fit, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the chat, say hi, and maybe take a look at my channel and subscribe if you want to know all of the things that I do. I talk about my nutrition, my sleep, and my workouts. I work on strength, conditioning, and mobility every morning throughout a morning routine, and once or twice a week at the end of a working day, I hop on a stream and talk about the challenges the day offered. And today I had some challenges with the snack jar at the office, but I beat it. And I'm quite proud of myself for that. Now the trick is to not go home and then eat, to reward myself with a lot of high calorie foods, because I beat the snack jar today. But so again, it's the idea of hydration, actually doing two things at once, right? Making sure I'm hydrated well, and at the same time using hydration as an intervention to give me time to decide to do something else when I'm going to fall prone to an almost automatic behavior, like eating snacks from a snack jar. Another challenge that I have noticed that I have at the office is caffeine and coffee. I don't know if you have the same issue. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you from Pakistan? Simple Village Shorts. Hey, hello. This is, I think, the second time we have engaged on the channel. I've seen your comments on one of my videos. I'm glad to see you here, and thanks for dropping by and saying hello. And I appreciate you taking the time to say hi, and I hope you're doing well where you are in Pakistan. Thank you for dropping by. Makes me really happy to see you here after we had a conversation under one of my videos the other day. So another challenge that I have throughout the day is caffeine intake. And my days start really early, right? So you know that I'm up at around 4:35. I do my live stream, my workout, we have breakfast, family, daycare, school run, off to the office, work. I usually have my first cup of coffee about an hour and a half after I wake up. I know, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm really happy that you're here also watching live in the afternoon. What time is it where you're at, by the way, now? I'm always curious how many hours there are between me and the people watching the stream. And then I try to pace my cups of coffee throughout the day, but I also try to stop drinking coffee at a certain time and not have too many cups of coffee or espressos throughout the day. Mr. Nobody, thanks for dropping by and saying hi and engaging on the chat. What do I do when? For my workouts or for work? What exactly do you want to know? Let me know, and I appreciate you saying hi on the chat, and I hope you are doing well where you are as well. And thanks so much for taking the time to type in a message and send it over to me. I really appreciate that. So what happens when I have too much coffee too quickly, how should I put it, in succession, I tend to get hyperactive and actually start not to feel really good about my day or about where I am, right? Because I have too much caffeine in my system. I start to get a little bit of a headache. I get quite jittery. And this usually happens if I have 3 or 4 cups of coffee before 12. Tryouts Rover, you're in the USA, Texas. Another one of my followers, YouTube Punk, is also from Texas, and I love Texas. I actually spent 2 summers in Texas when I was 15 and 16 on a ranch herding llamas, and those were 2 of the best summers that I had in life. And I would love to go back to Texas and spend some more time there. 10:50 a.m. Yeah, you're just starting your day, right? It's 8:50 p.m. in Pakistan, so it's the end of the day. Very nice, and I hope the evening is pleasant and enjoyable for you. And Mr. Nobody has said, job, am I a doctor? No, I am not a doctor. I do not have the ambition or drive or, how should I put it, medical knowledge to be a doctor, but I think it's a very important job. I work in marketing and sales. I have a desk job. I create presentations, go to presentations, talk to people, and basically organize events for and with customers. And that's a fun job. I enjoy it. I work for a big tech company, which is really cool. And I have a lot of fun with the team that I work with and the people that I get to work with. It's a good experience for me, and it allows me to provide for my family and allows me to pursue other kinds of hobbies and exciting things in life as well. And I hope that answers your question, Mr. Nobody. Thanks for asking that. I really appreciate all of you chiming in on the chat. So thank you. The idea that caffeine can replace sleep was one that or the assumption that caffeine is a substitute for sleep was one that I lived under for many years. But recently, I think the last 3 years, first of all, I got a lot more acquainted with a lot of research on caffeine, also through YouTube when I did my education or my certification to become a personal trainer. But also when I got really interested in sleep, because when you have little children, you start to have very interrupted nights and a bit of lack of sleep. I realized that there is no substitute for sleep. In fact, the afternoon dip, and caffeine and the afternoon dip are often related. We often think that the afternoon dip is a result of, for example, having a heavy lunch. But that's not the case at all, actually. The afternoon dip is a result from not having a healthy, long enough night of good sleep. So by starting to sleep better, I noticed that actually my concentration and also my ability to control my impulses, um, including snacking throughout the day, improved tremendously. And I think we sometimes forget this. And for all of those who are just watching and who are new, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life, not only now, but into my 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s. And that's what this channel is about. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and let me know in the chat, or go ahead and take a look at my channel. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to continue this conversation with you. That sleeping better actually decreases my need for caffeine, because it becomes a vicious cycle, right? In order to stay focused and productive, you have more caffeine, and then you have more caffeine later into the day, and then you fall asleep later, so you sleep even less. So for me, at least, I don't metabolize caffeine super slow, but also not super fast. So what's changed are two things. First of all, I try to space out caffeine over the morning, 1 cup maybe every 3 hours. So that's one at 6 in the morning, one at 9, one around noon, usually after lunch, and the last one between 2 and 3 p.m. And then I found that it's actually easier for me around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. to fall asleep and wake up early. And because I have this rhythm of waking up early and minding my caffeine intake towards the end of the day, it's actually helped produce a healthy sleeping rhythm, and I noticed that my focus throughout the day increased. Now, another nice thing about improving this sleeping pattern is, second of all, your ability to recover from intense training increases tremendously, which is a big plus, especially if you, like me, work out every day or do a routine every day. I do kettlebells, by the way, so if that's something you're interested in, I do kettlebells for strength and for conditioning. I also go for runs. I do pull-ups and push-ups. But that is a part of a routine that looks at trying to get sufficient and good quality sleep, sufficient and good quality nutrition, and sufficient and good quality movement to train different aspects of my physical ability. But if you look at the benefits of that healthier sleep cycle, it's not only that I have less need of caffeine throughout the day, it's also that I am better able to control my appetite throughout the day, because the nights that I don't sleep well, and I know this also for a fact from when our first child was born, and we had a lot of interrupted nights early on when he was when they're babies. You have to be up a lot for the feeding and for the changing and for all other care things that you need to do. And by the way, if you're watching and you're liking the stream, go ahead and hit the like button so other people also know that maybe it's worth watching. And also check out my channel and subscribe for some more updates and different videos. But if I have those interrupted nights, I tend to eat more poor quality food because you tend to snack more. Actually, the research Why We Sleep, I think, is a really good book. She points out that when we're sleep deprived, we tend to eat up to 30% more calories than on a day that we're not sleep deprived. So not only has better sleep led to better focus, but it also has actually helped me maintain my overall healthy weight, which I've been at now consistently for a long period of time. So looking at the office environment, right? There are a lot of reasons why, while we're at the office, we can find reasons to snack, find reasons to sit a lot. But there are also things that we can do that kind of are small or seem small or trivial overall, but actually are going to help us manage our health and fitness more effectively over the course of a lifetime. Because over the course of a week, I spend about 40 hours at the office, which, is about a good quarter of the hours we actually have in a 7-day week. So that's a good deal of time. If you take off the quarter of the week that we spend sleeping, more or less, right? If we sleep 7 hours a day, that's 49 hours, that's another quarter. That leaves half of the week for a whole bunch of other things that we want to do. And, finding quick and easy ways to stay healthy and fit to combat the effects of sarcopenia, of sitting a lot throughout the week, are just as important. It's 5 p.m. where I'm at now, so I need to wrap up and also make my way to my commute. I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for dropping by, for being so active on the chat. Tryouts are over in Texas. It's a name in the UK. Simple Village Shorts from Pakistan, Mr. Nobody. How did I overcome high consumption of caffeine? What daily routine should we follow? Yes. It's a great question, and I think one of the things, thanks for asking, is health and fitness very personal, so what works for me might not necessarily work for you. But I think one of the things about overcoming high consumption of caffeine is to, alternate between caffeine and water or tea or another drink, so that you also have the idea that or the control over how many cups of coffee you're drinking, setting a set limit for when it ends. I rarely drink coffee after 3 p.m., for example, unless I have a really good reason to want to drink coffee after 3 p.m. And I think for a daily routine, maybe, drop by on one of my other streams and see how I organize my day, and we can talk a bit more about what kind of a daily routine might work for you if you want to reflect on that with me based on what I'm doing. Tryouts are over. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, and have a good rest of the day there in Texas. And Mr. Nobody, I hope that more or less answers your questions. Thanks for dropping by all. Thanks for watching, for spending this time with me. I really appreciate that. And like I always say, especially when it comes to changing habits and to getting healthy and fit, we're good just the way we are. Whatever our health and fitness goals are, we've got to love ourselves before we can move on, because it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we are going to be tomorrow. Simple Village Shorts. I always did sports. I think there's a difference between sports and fitness. You're very welcome, Mr. Nobody. So doing sports, I think, are of all ages, like athletics or soccer or hockey, or any kind of sports that we can do, track and field, athletics. And I started exercising in the gym when I was 16 as a part of a routine, and it's now been 24 years since I first set foot in the gym, just to give you an idea. Like I always say, a bit of kindness to ourselves, to the person we are today, goes a long way, because it's the person we are today who's going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So thanks for dropping by, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow or in another stream. Take care.